Hey, good morning. So you're with Riding Places again this morning, and since we mentioned that we are a senior couple enjoying riding in the scenic areas of central Pennsylvania and beyond, we thought you might be a couple yourself that are seniors that are thinking about getting into e-bikes, and what should you choose or think about. We've been doing this for about 10 years now. Thought I might just show you some differences that help you make some decisions. When we first got our bikes 10 years ago, we got them online through a crowdfunding site where you could get it for $4.99, and only one frame size was the size you could choose. And so as you can see, for both my wife and I, this was the kind of bike that we got. And while it was good 10 years ago, it's getting more difficult for us to get our legs up and over the bikes. But the bike has been great for the last 10 years. It is a cadence sensor bike. That is all they had back then, and that means that there is a, down here at the pedal, behind the pedal, there is a plastic disc with metal magnets in, so that as you're pedaling around and have a cadence, the motor moves with your pedaling. Today, however, you have not just the cadence sensor, but a torque sensor, which you can get bikes that as the harder you push on the pedals, the easier it is, or the more pressure you put on that, the motor gives you power to go uphill. And this bike, when we bought it back 10 years ago, came with one speed only. However, because of the trouble getting older and getting my leg over the bike, and especially my wife as she's been shorter, we have migrated to step-through versions of the bikes. So this is a step-through version, and this, as you can see as well, is one that has a torque sensor. But it makes it much easier, at least for me, who am 5'10", to step through the bike and not stumble over trying to get my leg over my bag in the back and the height of the bike. And same with my wife's. Hers is a little smaller because she's not as tall as I am. And hers is still a cadence sensor bike that she uses with the disc and the magnets. And this is also a folding bike, though we hardly ever fold it. But this is another choice that you have. It's a little smaller, and again, you can see how much easier it is to step through the bike, that you don't have to worry about falling when you have to dismount, or you stop quickly and you have to get off the bike depending on your height. And that might be something that you want to consider in choosing a bike. So we hope that gives you some ideas of the various choices that you have in bikes today. And it's good if you have a bike shop nearby that maybe you can go and test drive some, or if not, you find reviews for any bikes that you might continue to buy online, that they can tell you all about them, or you can look through a video about the bikes, and it can give you some good ideas on choosing.
Riding Places will be visiting areas in the central Pennsylvania area and vicinity on the channel. Show you where we're going to kind of start, or where the heart of this riding will be, and it is in central Susquehanna, Pennsylvania. You can see some of the towns and cities here nearby, but particularly today we're kind of starting in the heart of the central Susquehanna Valley, which is here where the two branches, the northern and western branches of the Susquehanna River, come together near the towns of Northumberland and Sunbury. And there's quite a bit of history in these towns, and as you can see by our map, this is where we're going to be riding today and visiting some places along the Susquehanna River, some state parks, some campgrounds that are available here, and some historic areas of this town from the 1700s, which we hope might give you some information to come here. Enjoy your riding. I know it's not so much nature today, although some of it is in this part of this park over here. But just to give you an idea of why the Susquehanna River plays a part in much of where we'll be riding as we visit state parks here in the central Susquehanna Valley. So this is where we're heading today. As you can see ahead of us, we want to go up to the top of that cliff. That is Shikellamy Lookout. And you're wondering, riding a bike up there? Well, yes, we have our electric bikes today. So we'll see that, as the map said, we have 350 feet to go up. See how easy we can get up that hill on an electric bike.
See, we're going uphill. I'm in pedal assist 2, third gear, and I'm also using my throttle. Can I go up this hill? Still hit the pedal. Still sitting. Makes it much easier with an electric bike. Of course, I'm not up to the lookout yet, so let's see how hard I'm breathing as we get up to the Shikellamy Lookout, which is right here. I'm going to shift down to 2. See how we do. Both my wife's and my bike have a 750 watt battery, motor rather, and it seems that along with the throttle, it is doable. We found on steep hills though, it's best in power assist 1, 2, or 3. 4 and 5 seem to give just a little too much power. You'll have to try it and see. But that's what we found works for us. We're coming up to almost the top of the hill, but I'm going to take you here to the lookout. One of the best of the lookouts, to let you see where we're at here. To let you know that we're starting at the heart of the Susquehanna River Valley, actually the confluence of the northern and western branches of the Susquehanna River. And as you look over the area today, 300 years ago, this was mostly inhabited by the Susquehanna tribes of Indians. We were at the marina, or going to the marina, and that is on the island that you see across the way here. And on the other side of the island, where you see those homes, was where Fort Augusta once stood, guarding the 2 branches of this river, trying to keep the people safe from what they thought were enemies, the French and the Indians. But back in those days, the Susquehannock people, termed Susquehannock people of the Muddy River. And maybe you can see that in the camera here. As you look down at the river, you see a different color from the northern branch to the western branch. The northern branch, looking that way, starts up in Cooperstown, New York. The western branch, this way, starts in western Pennsylvania, comes down through Williamsport. They meet here and head south into Havre de Grace, Maryland, eventually into the Chesapeake Bay. So 444 miles about approximately is where it starts in Cooperstown and heads down this way. And so much of the riding that we'll be doing for the riding channel will involve this part of Susquehanna Valley, central Pennsylvania, where many streams, creeks flow into this part of the Susquehanna and head downstream. But as you can see, it was an unnavigable river because of it being so low. But as we're going to see in future videos, particularly in the town of Williamsport, further to the west of us and north, this river was responsible for much of the lumber and the lumber barons that existed in the 1800s as they cut the forests of Pennsylvania and floated them down the river. So we'll learn some of those things further in the future. But this is the Shikellamy Lookout. Across the way is the Shikellamy Marina, an island, and that is the town of Sunbury today. It was once called Shamokin, which was the biggest cities locally for the population of Indians and the early American people that were here. So we took a detour. We aren't quite up to the top of Shikellamy Lookout. Still have a little ways to go, so let's pedal a little more and throttle. And you can remain seated on your bike. And actually get up to the top of this hill. And as you can see, as you get up here, there are some facilities for picnicking. There are some pavilions available. Some public restrooms. And another lookout that looks further out the western branch of the Susquehanna River that is flowing down from the city of Williamsport, Pennsylvania. There's a playground here if you're bringing children or grandchildren. And here is the topmost lookout of the Susquehanna River. As you can see, that way, flowing west, north, the town of Northumberland, and there in the distance, see the western branch is coming from New York through Wilkes-Barre, Danville, down here to where they meet in Northumberland. But of course, even here in central Pennsylvania, near towns, here at Shikellamy State Park, there are some trails that you can enjoy. Not long, but if you're looking for a little hike in nature, to enjoy creation, get some exercise. As we mentioned at the beginning of our channel discussion, we'll share with you some sounds of nature where it's quiet, peaceful. Trail goes ahead of us. Back to the park. And as you can see, the trail is clear. So we are in Pennsylvania. That means there are ticks out. But if the trails that you are on are mostly clear without weeds, leaves reaching in from the side, you are pretty safe with being able to walk in there and not get a tick. But it's always good, a measure of prevention, right? So if you're going to be hiking in the woods or biking, getting in some areas where there are deeper grasses, or riding closer to limbs and leaves, put on some tick spray and then check yourself when you get home in your clothes to make sure that you didn't bring any of those nasty friends along home with you. But as you can see, the trail here continues back up to the pavilions at the top of Shikellamy Lookout, or you can go down to the end of this trail and it will bring you out to the paved road. Then you have to hike up the paved road. So if you want some exercise, go for it. Bring a picnic lunch. You can enjoy it here with your partner and enjoy the beauty of creation around you. I think I found my means of transportation to get myself back home. So let's see if I can do that. Oh, and I wanted to remind you too, as you look at these bikes, I forgot to tell you that earlier, we have been riding since 10 years ago, some with a little bit bigger tires, 4-inch tires, 3-inch tires, because of riding on gravel. We kind of like the bigger tires. It's easier sometimes if there's a lot of gravel, they get a little bit better traction in the woods, and they also do pretty well on pavement. But we think a 2-inch tire as well on some of these bikes, if you're only riding on a rail trail, also would work pretty well for you. Okay, so I wanted to take you into the Shikellamy State Park Marina, which we took a look at when we were over at the Shikellamy Lookout. is located on the island here. And this is the entrance into the park. And as you can see, the park goes along the banks of the Susquehanna River. In the park there are some public restrooms, picnic tables, and pavilions that can be used if you're here enjoying the facilities throughout the day. Let me show you this actually. So here along the bank is docking for your boat. And you can see some boats that are out on this nice day enjoying the Lake Augusta that heads, of course, coming from the western branch of the Susquehanna. And here at the point you can see the overlook that we were at earlier today, that we look down upon this marina park. Here in front of us, the two branches of the Susquehanna River come together and head south toward the Chesapeake Bay in Maryland.
So here we are at a point in the Shikellamy Marina island that is a vantage point where we're looking out along the western branch of the Susquehanna River, rather, and the northern branch back this way, that are being joined here together around the island where the Shikellamy Marina is located. And along the banks of the river over there, you can get a glimpse of the flood wall that runs the length of the town, that was built back in the 40s, finishing up in 1951 to protect the town from floods. And there in the distance, you can see the other bridge that we're going to go to later. What we're going to see down there is the dam that is built to make this part of the water here in front of us, Augusta Lake, that so many boaters, fishermen like to use here during the summer months for recreation. And right in front of us here, you can see a beige house, yellow, above that wall. Right there is where Fort Augusta was in the late 1700s. Of course, coming out from that point, past the wall and onto the river, Fort Augusta, that protected the town from Indians and the French during those times of American history where it was very much needed here in this part of central Pennsylvania.
So I thought we might finish our ride today by coming here in the Shikellamy State Park Marina and visit Butterfly Garden. Maybe you've come here today to enjoy the Susquehanna by enjoying some water recreation or picnicking in one of the pavilions here in the park, which is great. You can come here on your bikes or on a hike and you'll just sit and relax and enjoy the flowers here in the Butterfly Park. You can do that. An multitude of flowers where you might see some butterflies. Like here. Or maybe just quiet. And choose to take a seat at a shaded bench or a shaded swing and relax and enjoy the beautiful day. So thanks for going riding places with us today. We visited the Shikellamy Overlook, the Shikellamy Marina. We're going to end it though and invite you back tomorrow as we'll discover some other history here in the local towns of Sunbury and Northumberland as we ride places in the central Susquehanna Valley, Pennsylvania.